What the fuck is up, people? It's Bread and Circuses. Caleb Salvatore here.
Dion Cobbs here.
Yo, it's Nick, your boy.
Nick is doing an ASMR video right now.
Yeah, I high-key fucks with ASMR, by the way.
Do you really?
I fall asleep to it sometimes.
What's the deal with? I've never really listened to it.
It's really soothing, and I don't know. I feel like a creeper because it's usually like girls' voices. And the one time, like I thought I was like actually a weirdo because for some reason, like I just got on this string of really sexual ASMR videos.
Wait, where was that? Was that on? That couldn't have been on YouTube.
It was on YouTube.
What is it?
Like it's this girl like her cleavage out and shit, and I'm just like, I was like, are all of them like this? I was like, what the hell? Because I was at work, and I was like, this shit is kind of bad. I don't know why I'm listening to it at work, but
there's some sick freak that gets off to that somewhere though.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That loves hearing the noise. And...
that's really goofy too. With the volume of internet porn that's out there, like really, come on.
Why would you go to
jerk off to
YouTube?
ASMR?
Why would you go to YouTube for when there's internet porn?
Like pictures of feet, so
That's true.
That's
things get,
nervously starts sweating.
I mean, I might have sent a couple. If you, I'm trying to make a couple bucks if you need something.
if somebody offered me money for pictures of my feet, I'd do it for $10. I don't have any tattoos on my feet. It's not like my face is in it.
I do it for $1.
Right.
I do
It's
it for
literally,
$1.
it's just a picture.
Honestly, if you want veiny feet on your phone,
Veiny feet.
hit me up because I am the plug. I got you all day.
Well, I don't know the specifics of what it's like to be into feet, but
No, I
maybe
hate feet.
I hate feet. They're
veininess.
disgusting.
They're fucking gross.
Well, I wonder if veininess are one of those things that people don't like to actually have. You know what I
Veininess?
mean? Or maybe they do. I don't
What
know.
if they just
It's-
don't like hands? One of those people.
The
who like
hand
gross- I wonder
models?
if those people who are like
No, I have
gross
nasty hands.
You know.
I could. It's like there are people that have gross hands. No,
I guess
There
there's
are.
germaphobes who are
There
just
are.
like gross everything.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen them motherfuckers that like hold up their hands and their nails look like tombstones. Like it
Oh,
looks
I
like-
hate those
looks-
people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck those. People. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Those guys that look like fucking Wolverine from X-Men with a... I hate that shit. It's
Yeah.
so disgusting.
You can't tell if they're wearing leather gloves or not.
I'm not gonna lie. I be rocking the talons from time to time.
Do you?
know,
Every
because
now and then I'll like let mine go and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta trim that.
they
But,
grow
like,
kind of quick.
They do.
They grow kind of quick.
They do grow.
And they're like-
They're not that bad.
Every one of
like
us
them-
just checked our nails.
Every single one of us,
for the
it's
audio
like-
listeners.
You check them
The audience just looked at theirs too, though. So they're
I
like,
mean,
"Fuck,
yeah.
am I? Do I have
Because I have people
tombstones?"
be like, "What the fuck?" I'm just like,
Yeah.
I think-
like, it helps me get the tape at work. You know, like,
I think my weirdest thing is like I clean my nails with just like the randomest objects. Like if I can find something to clean my nails out, I will. Like
Yeah, I'll use
I'll use like
paperclip.
I'll use
Yeah.
like
My
fucking
nails.
baseball cards
Same.
or Pokemon cards or something.
I'm just like, oh, scrape out. I mean, I guess is that kind of like taking a bath? Am I just putting more stuff into my nail?
I don't know. Maybe
I mean, some of it gets out. You know.
we need comments from any nail doctors.
Yeah,
out
nail
there.
doctors
You need
out
to let
there,
us know.
Estheticians, is that what the nail people are called?
I'm not sure.
Estheticians?
Is
That's
that,
what
or
they're
no.
called?
Estheticians are like the waxers. So if you want to get like a Brazilian wax or something like that, you go to an esthetician.
Have you ever done a wax? I've never waxed before.
I've waxed. I had an ex-girlfriend that used to like to wax like my eyebrows and shit.
Really?
But I think it was like more for her than me. I think she like weirdly got off on it. I'm not sure.
I'm actually like a prepubescent child, so I don't actually
You don't
have
get
like
hair
any body
anywhere?
hair. So
Actually,
like,
I'm envious. I can't grow it on my chest. I tattooed my whole chest and there's no hair will grow there. But yeah, other
My
places.
chest is like the only place that I won't grow on my face.
beard.
But
Really?
I need a beard because I'm ugly, right? So like I want to hide my face, but like I don't want to wear like a mask, so like I want a beard. But I thought about buying this stuff called minoxidil. I think they put it in Rogaine. I was like, just put that shit
Yeah.
on my face.
Just put Rogaine on your
and-
face.
Yeah,
bro, let that shit grow. That
I've
can't do nothing.
watched YouTube videos about that. How Rogaine, how it works is it doesn't make hair regrow in the follicle. It just makes the hair follicle grow stronger.
Yeah.
I know that too.
So
I'll
like
look
dudes
it up.
that don't have good facial hair can put that on there, and it like makes them grow like a big ass like Syrian
It
beard,
does,
dude.
and I
Like an
have
Iraqi
Seriously?
beard. Yeah.
The thing
Oh my
is, I'm
God.
really bad at maintaining shit. So like,
Yeah.
probably wouldn't grow either way.
Beards
'cause
are
I'm
a
not
pain in the.
growing.
I have like a baby beard going, but like, and I've been working on this for years, and it's a pain in the ass to maintain. It's
You've been
like
growing it for years.
I'll trim it. I won't let it grow out for years, but like, it's a pain in the ass, and it's such a mess to clean. I went on Amazon the other day. I got this thing for $10, and it's suction cups to your mirror. and you like
it
trim,
catches
yeah,
it,
and it catches it
yeah.
because it's such a mess. I was going through so many paper towels every time I trimmed my beard, just so I didn't have to vacuum my fucking sink.
I wish I
That's
could
funny.
relate to
Yeah,
that.
that's problems I can't relate to.
Yeah,
man.
I
I'm
guess
just shaving.
really-
and
You guys
that's
aren't
it.
gonna be able to relate to that issue,
But
I guess.
like, I don't know, like girls like hairy dudes.
Yes and no.
Girls like.
If
I
it's
think-
kept,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's kept.
yeah.
if
But
you look
can
like
be
a
hairless and unkept,
There's a
like
there-
me.
well, I think there's a fine line with beards between looking like somebody with a beard and looking like a homeless person. You know?
Yeah.
Like the neck beard. Hey, I'm telling
no,
you right
if it
now.
touches your neck,
If you're
you gotta
rocking the
shave it.
neck beard right now,
Ugh.
it's got to stop.
I don't know
That's
who-
why I have to shave religiously, man, because
Why?
that's sort of the only place it grows on, really. For
Neck
me.
beard. Oh
Right
yeah, I can
there,
see
man.
that.
I mean, I get like a little stubble. I'm just like, yeet.
Yeah, no.
know,
The second
so-
I see a hair on my neck, it's fucking code red, and I'm just shaving it. I
I
do
have a
not.
homie who used to rock the neck beard. Like I never had the heart to say anything.
You should have just got him really drunk and shaved it off. He was sleeping.
Would have did him a favor, but you know what? He did all right by himself. I guess he did okay.
Yeah, I guess going on that, man, there's really some dudes out there that will get pretty butthurt if you like point out something like that to them.
That they have a neck beard?
Well, no, just something like that as an example. Like maybe some dude's rocking like a haircut that's really not fucking working. for him, man.
No.
You know what I mean? And you'll get those dudes that'll be trying to do that, and then you're like, dude, don't have that haircut. Like you look like a clown, and he
Yeah.
just like he'll like ghost you. Like like he
One
just won't
time-
talk to you.
Dude, I know this dude. I'm not even gonna give him a shout out for this shit. I don't know. So I was on Twitter, right? And he's one of these dudes who's like always in like he's the type of person who will call you a local, because they have like a big Twitter community. They call people local. So he put me in
Really?
this big ass roast group chat, and I have no idea why he fucking added me to this shit.
Yeah.
And it's just a group chat where people just roast the shit out of you. There
Yeah.
was a picture of me in there, and everyone was just going off.
Really?
Damn,
Yes,
man.
it's going on, and then people were just savage, like just going savages, bro. And my dad had cancer a couple years ago.
Oh my
And-
god.
Shit.
They were talking shit about it, bro. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Dude,
And
that's just people on the internet. You give them any kind of ammo, they'll use.
Yeah.
it was terrible.
Well, it's
and
because they won't say it to your face.
yeah,
Yeah.
hell no. So I messaged the dude. I'm like, bro, like you didn't even like say nothing, bro. I was like, next time I see you was on site. I got over it, but I was upset for a minute.
There's stuff like that on Reddit where people will post pictures of themselves and be like, Reddit roast me, please,
Yeah.
or something
My
like that.
homie posted a music video like 2 years ago, and like we were super small, like no one knows us. So like we posted it, and the next day it had like 1,000, 2,000 views,
Right.
and we were like, "What the fuck?" Like of course we're confident, but we're like, "Dude, how did this happen in like 60?"
You got put on a roast thing on Reddit.
Dude, people were roasting the shit out of it. It had like hella dislikes, and I'm like, "Dang, dude, the song is good." Like, oh my, dude, people were just.
Was it
talking
a rough
mad
music video though? Was it
shit.
like
I mean,
corny?
like, it was like it wasn't "Humble" by Kendrick Lamar.
It ain't something that's
By
going
any
up on
means.
MTV.
Some
or
guy
anything like
fucking
that.
filmed it on his
No.
cell phone, or
But
like.
I've seen worse. I have seen much worse. But people were talking shit on is everything. It was like, "Fuck you." Oh, dude.
So like those, or not on that, was it? We had one that went viral on the cringe posting Reddit thing.
Did
It
we
wasn't for
really?
us. No, it was in high school. It was this guy we went that like worked at the Super Saver up the street. He thought he was a fucking rapper, and he was like the
Fucking
cart guy.
rappers.
Fucking rapper. No, he was terrible. He's still on there. He's Michael J. Davis. He go, yo, it's MJD. And he's,
Go check out his SoundCloud.
yep.
Yeah,
he needs
links.
it really bad.
It was so bad. It was like he tried to diss Brock Lesnar, and he's like, Brock Lesnar doesn't know if he's gonna go to the UFC or the WWE. He's just like, when's
Ooh.
Michael Jackson gonna come fucking screw me? It was like,
What? Bars, bro. I'm about to steal that. Yo, don't watch this. Don't watch, 'cause I'm about to steal that. I'm about to steal that. Holy shit.
You can't talk shit on Brock Lesnar, man. One of that guy's
Brock
legs. is a
Lesnar would
person.
fucking eat this guy. This guy's of course like 5'3", and like he looked like he had spaghetti sauce on him because he was like burned from sunburns because he had a horrible farmer's tan.
Do you
Oh,
think he
just a-
knows he was like bad?
I don't think
Is
so.
Is he a white dude?
He's a
too?
white dude,
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn, man.
He's a white dude in a Minnesota Vikings
'Cause
uniform.
I always fear like because being an artist is tough because you're really, really critical of yourself.
Right.
So it's like
Mm.
I feel like I've always been conscious of like where I am on levels. Like even right now, I'm like, bro, like there's levels to these bezels. Like there's a lot of really talented artists, and I gotta prove. But like there's some dudes like they'll be like, oh, I'm the next up. Like I got bars, I'm fire. I go check it out, and I'm just like,
Those are the guys that suck.
I'm like, you didn't even say where the end of fun of the stuff. I'm like,
What?
Yeah,
What?
There's people who sound like that. I'm like, what?
And I think as a rising artist, you gotta be humble, man.
You do.
If you ain't humble,
So I think anyone who works in any type of artistic thing will tell you they're their own biggest critic. Like, I'll have stand-up jokes and I'll write them out and I'll be like, that's some fucking whack shit. And then because I practice jokes on people unsuspectingly, like they don't know it, and they'll laugh their fucking ass off to it. I'm like, really? You thought that was funny?
I do that too.
You thought that was funny?
I do that with our podcast, man. I listen to our podcast sometimes and like I'll be like, damn, why did I just say? Why did I?
Yeah,
say
I do that too.
I only do 3 things. I play Fortnite, make music, and self-deprecate. The only 3 things I do. And like other than that, I was sitting in my room like trying to work on a song, and like I put a lot of effort into it, but like I also feel like personally like it's my voice. There's some people who have voices like they'll say anything and it's just like dope as shit.
Right.
My voice, I'm like, I really got to like work with it to like the beat and like, find the right tone. Like,
yeah,
because you can say something one way and it's whack, and you can say something another way and it sounds dope.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in my room trying to work on this, and I'm just like, hands over my head. It's like, bro, like,
yeah,
why am I even doing this anymore? It's just like, it's really frustrating. And that's why I want like people like, and see, even that's why I even appreciate the bad artists, because like, I'm sure even though they talk that shit, like, and even though they might actually be bad, like, I'm sure they have those moments too, where they're just like sitting there like, man, why am I even doing this? They get, criticism, and it takes a lot to be like, to wake up the next day and be like, okay, I'm gonna try this again. Cause like there was a whole week I wrote like, I couldn't even finish the song, just like verses, and I just record them. I write them like, oh, this is dope. I record it, and I'm like, yo, this shit sucks. Like, fuck this.
It happens, man.
And then I have to do it again the next day. And it's like, god damn.
I watched a Nirvana documentary where they were talking to the producers for them, and they said all the time about how Kurt Cobain hated the sound of his own voice. He
Really?
absolutely hated it. Yeah.
I hated it too.
So, well, a strategy that they'll do for that is in music, and I think the Beatles did the same thing, or Paul McCartney did the same thing, because I guess Paul McCartney hated John Lennon hated the sound of his own voice.
Really?
So what they'll do is they'll record like the singer singing that verse or the song, but multiple times, and they'll just layer it on top of each other in the actual song.
Oh yeah, you have to do that.
Yeah,
you have to. Actually, the Perception of Me, let's check it out on Spotify, all platforms. That song, I actually only recorded 2 layers on it, but like you can tell, because like it's weird. Like if I record just one take, it sounds like hollow. It's like it almost takes the breath out of me. It's just like there needs to be more there.
Really? I didn't even think of that. Huh.
Yeah. So like when you listen to songs, like that's why mixing is really hard, because there's actually like a lot of layers there. There can be like 4, 6 different takes on top of each other, but it's just mixed so well together. And that's why like some of the more I've been putting out like slower songs, because I don't have to layer them as much. Yeah. Because I just started mixing and mastering my own stuff. Yeah. So like when I just talk slower, I don't have to compensate for so much, and doing certain ad libs and effects, like you really have to do. There's like I said, those levels, these bells, and people. And I've been fortunate enough to work mine when I was in a group. Yeah. And working with other people who did music. Yeah. Because like I would record a song and he'd be like, okay, another take on top of it. Or like try this or try that. At first I was just be like, okay, record the verse, just done, put it out, And doing that, it really adds a whole different dynamic to your song. Yeah, I think we can kind of relate with that on our podcast, because me, Zach, and Caleb are always bouncing each other ideas of how we could do something, how we could format something better. Yeah, definitely. I think all 3 of us could do it on our own. It would just be a lot fucking harder, and it wouldn't be as good. And because we have different ideas for everything. Mm-hmm. So, but no, I completely agree. And sometimes the ideas clash. Like I like to work alone. Like my friend, he always hits me up like, hey, dude, let's make a song. And it's like, we can sit together and chill and maybe listen to a beat, vibe out, but I'm probably not going to write a single thing. I think you got to have the right people to do it with. Definitely. Because definitely sometimes all of us will come up with some ideas and everybody's just like, no, we probably shouldn't do that. Yeah. And if you don't have that person there to kind of tell you no, then you'll get stuff that goes out and you're just that you regret. As long as someone's not a fucking diva. Yeah. That's really all you need. Yeah. And I'll be the first to admit that every now and then I can be one, but
you know,
Well,
what it
and I
is.
think you got to go both ways too, because you got to, kind of check each other on stuff, but then you also got to be supportive on like actual
Definitely.
good stuff.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
And
And it's like
everyone in
a family almost.
And everyone in my group is super dope. And I'm gonna shout them out. I can't believe I haven't done it yet because I got to promote the team. So actually, I should just announce it anyway. Like we're trying to find a way to officially like just talk about it.
Do it on
but
here.
It's hard because you have to collaborate schedules and everything, and some people don't live here. But I'm actually in a group. It's called FACE, FACCE.
What's that stand for?
So honestly, I forgot. It just it's some crazy shit. I forgot the actual like terminology because because we're still building on branding. We don't talk about branding a lot. We usually just talk about the art.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying we're still
branding is some of the art. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like that's why we haven't now.
Yeah.
Like, but anything where the idea of it is not the actual words behind it, but it's just like we all have an identity and we're all just like expressing ourselves through it.
Cool.
And and I think it's like something artists collectively collaborate eventually, or something like that. That's what it was. It's like something all artists collectively collaborate, something like that. And we're all just so different. So like my boy Forrest, aka Gary, that's the homie. He's a singer. Keenan.
Like a traditional singer, like
a rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he like professionally trained, or not professionally trained, but has he like gone to like voice trainers?
No, he hasn't. He gets the Justin Timberlake comparison a lot.
Really?
Yeah. He likes it, but he's like, okay, like stop saying it.
Sometimes that's the best singers though, is they're totally on their own. They haven't gone to training or anything. Like I don't know if you ever heard of the band The Maine.
Mm-hmm.
They've got like a cult following. So if you've heard of them,
follow me.
You love them.
Please.
The people that have heard of them love them. The people that haven't have no idea who the fuck they are. And Halsey tweeted one of their lyrics the other day. That was really weird.
Oh yeah.
Their singer had no prior experience outside of karaoke before he joined their band. Yeah, that's the stuff that was really interesting.
I feel that people think I read a lot, which I'm trying to read more. But people, you must read a lot. It's like I haven't read a book in 5 years.
Nobody does. Why
would you? People say that. People say that about reading, but I mean, you read like every day when you're on Facebook, like reading through articles and shit on there.
It's uninspiring though.
You can multitask now though. You can get an audio book for probably cheaper than a physical book, and you can do something else while you're reading that book.
I should invest in audiobooks.
I want to start it too.
My strengths, because that inspiration is still there, even if I'm not like actively just like reading it. I can still get the story and like find different references and things.
You should try doing it like you said. You play Fortnite while you play Fortnite.
Yeah, just do it. That's what I do with like.
I do while I do video games, man.
How am I gonna clap cheeks if I'm not paying attention? If y'all trying to play Fortnite though, facts. Cheek clapper 402.
Cheek clapper.
Every time I get a kill, I'm clapping. Every time, baby. I'm sorry about that. What were you saying?
No. But no, yeah. Who else is in there?
So I got Forrest, Citus, and shout out to Citus because he just dropped a song he dropped his first song.
What does he do?
He's a singer. He's learning how to rap a bit. We're still working on it.
Okay.
But he's a talented dude. He really is a talented dude. But he just dropped his first song like a couple weeks ago, and it's like he has like 500 monthly listeners on Spotify. Granted, it's the first month, but like I have like 100. So and I've dropped like 4 songs.
You gotta think that's 500 people that like actually care what you're putting out.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, and it's a great song. It's called 123, 123 featuring and actually Forrest and Psy are also on that song as well. Psy's on there a lot actually. He's really dope. And then Kobe, the other God MC of the group, dope as hell. He's a really talented rapper. Actually, he's like really just like. He's really like this hardcore hip hop. He's had like a little bit of a rough life, and he's really honest with the stuff. He just had a kid. Shout out to Cassius. He's a real handsome dude.
Is he named after Muhammad Ali?
I think so. He spells it with the K, so he's cooler.
Oh, okay, cool.
Muhammad Ali spelled it with the K. I don't even know.
No, I think his was with a C.
Oh, weirdo.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali was with a C. Yeah,
but like I tell him he needs to stop being the most handsome dude in the room. That's supposed to be my job. he wins every time, and I can't help it. But yeah, those are. Oh, and then I can't forget the producers. Oh my god!
I was gonna ask.
Oh my god! It's okay. Mark and JP, Mark 5 and JP. They're both super talented producers, which you'd be so surprised because they're from Verdigris, Nebraska. So just like
where?
Exactly. 600 people, just like small town white dudes, but just make some crazy ass beats, dude. Like it is. Insane.
I've never heard of that town.
It's so.
Where is it at? How far from Omaha?
Like 3 hours. It's near the South Dakota border.
Okay.
So it's like not too far.
Way up north.
Oh yeah, dude. They're crazy. Like JP is like probably the most like diverse out of all of us musically. He can actually like low key rap pretty well.
Yeah.
He's just like really just versed in music. He's really analytical and he studies every detail. Like watching him make a beat is crazy. Like he could take like a fart and make it sound like a bird. Like, it's crazy. Like the sound manipulation is crazy. Like
there's a lot of producers on the internet that will just like take really dumb sounds like that, like a fart, and then go make like a whole song.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
crazy. I'd be like, dude, is that a dog? He's like, oh no, it's a chair. Oh wait, what?
Yeah,
dude.
Production's a really hard part of that business, though.
Like that's people don't realize how much shit goes.
It's
into
like a
it.
thankless job too, man.
It
There's
is.
not a whole lot of big name producers.
No,
out
exactly.
there.
That's why I was
No.
disappointed in
Almost like
myself.
DJ
that
Khaled
I
and-
almost forgot to say it. I was
Yeah.
like, how can I forget such like, pivotal pieces of the puzzle?
Yeah.
It's really the glue.
Like
You know,
when I was making videos for the Roads to Freedom, when I was doing that, shooting the video maybe took me 30 minutes. Production, I had sleepless nights, dude. I was up till fucking 3 o'clock in the morning editing
Like
shit.
people don't even think about it because I've recorded like the little like snippet videos of me just rapping in my room and stuff.
Right.
Even just adding the subtitles takes like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like barely doing anything.
Yeah.
So it takes a long time. I used to make hella Call of Duty videos, low key.
Yeah. Like uploading shit like to Facebook, making sure we've got all those clips and everything. That's like a 4-hour long venture for me.
My
every time I go
wife
and do
is
that.
like that because she shoots stuff in our apartment and everything
Yeah.
for like her YouTube channel that they do, and they'll film it for like an hour, 2
Yeah.
hours, but she's up till like 4 a.m. for like 3 nights or something ridiculous like that. Like I go to bed and then I wake up and she's in bed next to me.
Holy
Doing that.
shit.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
works hard on it. It's tough.
Yeah, that's why because I like to make videos and stuff, and like I thought about just like trying to do that role a little bit for the team.
Mm.
But like it just takes so much time just to edit a video. It's like, okay, like I don't want to set aside another like 5-10 hours a week to do that, and also try to record like vocals and stuff, and then I have to, like I said, collaborating with everyone is already tough enough. But
I wholeheartedly believe to anybody out there that listens to us that wants to get into YouTube or doing anything media wise or anything, like you just gotta keep on doing it
Yeah.
because it's tough to do everything that you need to do to get
especially because now the algorithms are designed to fuck over smaller channels.
Yeah.
Like you have to build it up from the ground.
Yeah.
You
I was
have
gonna
to
say,
bust your
I
ass.
thought it was better because
Mm-mm.
I've been like, I'll look up beats on YouTube and like
Yeah.
I see a lot of suggested videos that have like not a lot of views.
Really?
Mhm.
Maybe. Well,
Maybe it's because like I've been like
it's because you've
it's
scoured
it's
the
just
entire
a lot of the
thing.
same ones that
Yeah.
really don't, like the same channels that don't have a lot. So that could be it because it's always showing me this one dude. I'm like, bro, I heard all of his fucking beats. Stop suggesting them.
We get shadow banned quite a bit because we cover controversial
At least
topics
on
here.
YouTube. Yeah,
on
YouTube,
YouTube definitely. You can
I-
tell when YouTube's mad at us because our views will get cut in fourths. But yeah, you can tell.
You'll
'Cause we-
what'll happen is you'll try to type in like our channel name
Yeah.
on the YouTube search and
Yeah.
it like appears on like the bottom before
Yeah.
like things that don't even have our name in them and
Yep.
everything. And it's like you said, it's probably because we're a little bit more on the edge talking about stuff that makes people uncomfortable a little more.
I heard
But
Facebook does that. Like if you are advertising something, like post a link, it will show
Mhm.
less of the people on your timeline. And I feel like I've noticed that because like I'll post like, oh, I'm gonna post a song, and then like people like comment, like people I know who are like actively like waiting for it will be like, oh, I can't wait to hear it, and then I'll post it and I'll see them a couple days later and they'll be like, hey, when are you gonna post that song? I'm like, dude, I did.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
I did post it.
there was like leaked Google memos and emails and stuff saying that they like purposely went out of their way to make certain content not.
It makes sense because they have
yeah,
the Facebook
definitely.
ads. They want you to use their advertising service.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like they want to use that to promote it. The same with like Instagram.
Mhm.
They want you to pay for it, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad service to use, but I mean, like they're just gonna force it in people's hands like that. I don't know if that's.
They're just trying to get money out of it.
Google's scary because they can definitely like. What do you do if you have a question about something? You Google it. They can influence a lot of public opinion very easily by just tweaking their algorithm.
Yeah.
And that's kind of creepy
You know
to me.
who I feel like does. Or maybe it's just because like the demographic I've entered into the app, but Snapchat, the stories I see
Yep.
in the news articles are fucking ridiculous, and it's very very liberal,
Yeah.
extremely liberal, like. And it's the most useless information.
Dude, I don't
It's
even-
all about Kylie Jenner and shit like that. It's
I go
worthless.
out of my way to ignore stuff on Snapchat because it has it's so surface level. It has because like they'll even do like a news service on there, right? Where they literally talk about a news story for 10 seconds. And it's
Yeah.
like, dude, how can you go through a news
because that's what they
story.
want you to know.
It's stupid. They'll be like, okay, they'll say this is what we're going to talk about, and then you have to go through like 4 other stories to see what they're even talking
exactly.
about.
And they'll talk about like
oh
real shit on there, but they'll talk about it for like
briefly,
10,
and then they're going to talk for
seconds.
30 seconds about this puppy running through a sprinkler.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, how are you going to understand the nuances and everything of like a school shooting that happened in 15 seconds?
Because you're not supposed to. They want you to understand their agenda behind it, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it works. That's mainstream media.
We DM'd 100 celebs. This rap legend copied Bad Baby, and she
Is
responded.
that the Catch Me Outside girl?
Yes,
Bad
like,
Baby.
Josh, fucking Josh. Who cares? Oh my god.
That's and you see these thoughts that are on here on Snapchat. Let me find a couple of them. They're like all they do is post pictures of their titties. Actually, I follow a few of them.
hey, don't be hating, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Dude, I was about to say that's the one I follow too. That's the one
Yo, you can't be hating, man.
God.
Hey, you can't be hating on that. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
You know what? I'll give her credit though, because she's we're not going to drop her name because I'm not going to give her free publicity.
No, she's famous enough.
Yeah, she is. She yeah, exactly. She does like fitness modeling stuff, and I think there's actually like some substance to that because it helps people work out and stuff like that.
I'm motivated to work out.
Oh, definitely.
Dude, honestly, like I'm really, I try not to hate on people like that make content like that and everything like that on like YouTube or anything like that or Snapchat or whatever, Instagram too. Yeah. But it's like, dude, if you're gonna like hate on anybody for anything, like the fucking people that watch that stuff, it's like,
if anything, the people who are doing it are smart.
Yeah, the people that are doing it are smart, man.
You know what app is just a complete cancer is TikTok. What did it used to be called?
I think it's just Twitter.
Twitter
or not Twitter.
Cancer, though.
TikTok is just like new Vine. Yeah, that's
it's worse though.
I don't think so.
I've never even used it.
Vine had some pretty dumb shit that happened on there back in the day.
Cringe Vines.
Yeah,
everybody did.
TikTok is just like Vine with like a couple extra features, I think, for making.
Do you have to use songs
on TikTok? No, you can do whatever. There's a bunch of stuff.
I thought about doing it with just my own songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like,
no, yeah. You don't have to do music at all. A lot of people just do. It really is the format. It looks a lot like Vine does.
Oh,
people
really?
just make really quick.
What did TikTok? Didn't it used to be called Musically or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah. It got bought out by like a Chinese company.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So I think Twitter though is like, I honestly need to delete my Twitter.
Most people do.
Because it has turned me into like a pessimistic piece of shit.
It does.
Because like I just look at this stuff and I'm just like, bro. And honestly, my song Autumn, check it out. Platforms by Dion Cobbs. Anyway, that song, like if it wasn't for Twitter, it probably wouldn't have turned out how it did. So basically what happened is like, obviously, if you've heard the song, it's about a girl. And Autumn is actually the name of a girl I had a crush on in kindergarten. The very first girl I had a big crush on.
Oh, really?
She didn't like me back. So that's why
kindergarten.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah. The first girl that ever had a crush on me in kindergarten was like a Pakistani chick, dude.
Oh god.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I was in kindergarten, man.
I didn't like her beard hair.
I was more, dude. When I was a little kid like that, I didn't give a shit about that. I was more focused on like shoving crayons in my fucking nose.
You should have, because some people remember.
Some people, apparently some people hold it for a long time.
I was a little kid, man. Like, I didn't give a shit about that.
But so I wrote that song. So I was already going through the situation with this girl, kind of. So I was at work and I was writing the song.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went home and I was like, okay, I'm gonna record the chorus. And like the things like autumn and like just like dragged out. At first it sounded like autumn. And I was like, oh my fucking god, dude, I fucking suck. Ass, I'm gonna go to bed. I took an 8-hour nap, dead ass. I woke up at fucking like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and I got on Twitter, and like the girl the song is about, she had tweeted "Love Hurts," and if you listen to the song, at the end of the song, I say "Love Hurts."
Oh really?
Yeah, I was like "Love Hurts," and I was pissed. And while you're like, okay, like why does that make you mad? Well, so basically the song is about being underappreciated, right? And so I was talking to this girl, then I was like, nah, fam, you're like, I'm out. And then I was like, nah, she's kind of cool. I got to fuck with her. She's not a bad person. I was just being a sensitive little bitch. So I'm honest.
We're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it.
So she was talking to this other dude who, he ain't me, baby. He ain't me. Like, I'm just saying, like he was trash. And I feel like I've honestly, tried to do a lot for this girl. And like this dude just was shit. And I would see her tweets and she would always be like, or retweets and her likes would pop up like, this guy sucks. So she tweeted, "Love hurts," and I'm like, "You loved this nigga?" I'm like, "You loved him? He hurt you like
love is
that?"
a strong word.
I'm like, "What?" And I'm just like, "You don't even give a fuck about me." So I woke up and I rolled up a blunt. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote that. And the thing is, like, a couple of days before that happened, she actually got cheated on. I don't know if they're dating, but like he caught her with another girl. And that's why you're hearing the song like, I'm like, you lurking and you mad what you saw, what you should have been mad. No, you lurking and you saw what you should have been saw, and I'm mad because I can't even be mad. And the thing is, like, I can't be mad because like she ain't my girl, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
I love it. You get like mental owner, like you're in that talking stage with that girl, and you're like, you're mad at her if she's talking to another guy, but it's like you're also talking to 3 other girls, and you're fucking hypocrite. But we're all guilty of it.
I mentioned it in the song because I'm like, it's okay. What did I say? Oh, man, I wish I could remember my lyrics. It was like, then I run like the one you run to. So I can't remember. Yeah, listen to the song. But I mentioned it in the song because at the same time, it's funny because the song is also kind of like about me because this other girl, I was talking to another girl at the time.
Yeah.
Right. And
see, exactly. Yeah. You don't get to be mad.
Bring me lunch to work. You know, like texting me, and I would like text back like 3 hours later, pissed off that this other girl is not texting me, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, and I'm mad at myself. I'm like, dude, like, I should end it with this other girl because like I obviously know where it's going. I know where my head's at right now, but like I'm just being like a fucking child about it. And I actually mentioned that in the perception. You check it out. Yeah, and it's just fucked up. And now I going back to the Twitter thing, I even still get mad now. Like I'm all over that, you know, with the girl, but like I see her likes, they pop up on my shit, and I'm like, bullshit, you don't do that. You ain't never done that for me. Oh, why you doing it for that nigga, huh? You know,
I think self-awareness is a skill that a lot of people don't have.
No, man. I deleted my Twitter for about 2 years, and I just got back on like in the last couple months. And I'll tell you what, it was the most liberating thing to not be on there because everything is so fucking negative.
I've never even had a Twitter, dude. I'm not on Instagram, Twitter, none of that. What it
does is I realized this. It serves as a reminder of a lot of things that are bad. So like, there's a lot of things that people think are positive.
Right.
They follow like those relationship accounts.
Yeah.
But I just realized after being in this situation, it just makes you think about that person. So I was good throughout the day, right? And then I get on Twitter and I see she liked that stuff, right? And then I'm mad. And I'm like, fuck. And like if I wasn't on Twitter, I would be good.
It's too easy to look. That's the problem. It's too easy to keep up with people.
Yeah. For good and for better and for worse. Because like a lot of, I got a lot of like long distance friends or people that I used to know really well, and I don't physically see them anymore. Right. But like it is nice to be able to keep up with stuff like that. But then also
use it, you use it, you're like,
it's like a drug. Kind of.
It is almost like a drug.
Oh, social media, it's addicting.
Yeah.
It can destroy your fucking life if you're not careful.
Even with the girl, okay, so I stopped talking to that other girl because I'm like, I think she's talking to other niggas, which like I'm like, I can't get tripped because I'm like, y'all want her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like even with her, so I was on Instagram, you can see like what other people do. And like I was on that tab and I saw that she had commented on this dude's picture.
Ooh.
Like she she tagged him in a picture saying she had a crush on him or something. I'm like,
are we
a couple
in 5th
of days
grade?
ago.
Are we in 5th grade?
I was like, a couple of days. Dude, she kind of was had a little juvenile jokes, but she was nice. But a couple of days ago, she had a crush on your boy. You know what I'm talking about? So I was like, oh, okay. And like, I kind of got like a little butthurt about it I have no reason to be butthurt. But it's just like, just seeing that type of shit is just so negative. Like you think.
It makes you like pissed off in like a primal part of your brain, like a different part of your brain that activates that. And
like
then
you're together in your head.
Yeah. And then the reason part of your brain activates like after that. And it's always after. And you're like, wait, why am I getting mad?
Right.
People are emotional creatures before logical creatures.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the day, like when it comes down to it, like you're always going to be emotional. Luckily, I am logical enough to see through my emotion. Like, so I got to stop shouting out my songs. But my song, Hello Morning, I talked about this dude. Well, I said, you know what's priceless, or you know what spite is? A nigga on Facebook talking spite, feeling righteous in the club, trying to fight for a white chick, priceless. So I went
fucking bars over here.
Damn.
Fuck yeah.
So I went to the club with my homegirl one week, looking like shit, basically looking like this.
Right.
And one of my homies, we're both friends with this girl. He sees me with her, and I guess they like had a thing, like I didn't know we hadn't talked for a while.
Right.
And he got all like defensive. So I said, "What's up, bro?" And like he just ignored me, and then he went off with her, and they were like talking or whatever. And then like she told me like he was mad at her and like we started the store, blah blah blah. Then he starts posting stuff on Facebook about me, and I'm just like, what the hell? And so basically, I was in that situation too. When I had first stopped talking to that girl, I had saw her in the club with another dude. I don't know if they were together or whatever, but I was like, fuck this. But I didn't go off on her. I was just like, whatever, do your own thing.
Right.
Because I'm aware, because like they weren't together, the girl that I had went to the club with.
Yeah.
So I'm aware that she has no ties to me and she can do whatever she wants. Even though I'm emotionally distraught by it, logically I can say this will pass and my emotions will eventually go away.
Right.
That way I can allow myself to be both at the same time, and I'm not going to feel bad for feeling something that I can't control.
Yeah, I don't think you can like logically justify being, getting all buttered about that kind of stuff unless you're actually going steady with a chick.
What? It's just weird to me, like when people like decide that they're an exclusive thing. You know what I mean?
And it happens.
It just happens, and then it happens, and nobody really says anything. You just kind of both acknowledge it, right? And it's just really weird.
Relationships now are just weird. I guess I can only say now because it's the only era I've had relationships.
Right.
But like they just seem so weird. Like this whole like the talking phase, because it's like
I think what's changed a lot more. I don't think the actual relationship phase has changed too much. I think the game phase. It's
because like, Tinder
trying to get people's attention, trying
get
to
whoever you
get
want
to that.
easily.
Yeah,
I hate.
It's crazy because it seems like everybody, like whenever I meet people in person, it feels like everybody has everybody has like a girlfriend or boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like everybody does.
Right.
And so like I feel bad for the single dudes out there that would actually want to, like meet somebody in person and like, try to go like, hey, let's go get some coffee or something like that sometime.
Right.
Because like it feels like you can't. Because like I'm
just
married, so I don't give a shit.
Why aren't you sliding into my DMs?
Yeah. It's like, it's like, it feels like you have, if you were single, you would have to go through like going through Tinder or something.
I'll tell you what, dude, it's so weird because the girl I try to keep my personal life off here as much as possible. The girl I've been seeing exclusively the past couple of weeks, we met in person prior. I didn't want to say anything for reasons I won't say on the air. And because I thought she was flirting with me, then we matched on Tinder like a month later. And it's like,
and that's
I'm
where
like, there's your sign.
And that's where you're like on Tinder, like, hey, we met.
That's what I said.
Up,
I'm like,
dude?
We definitely have met. She's like, oh yeah, I know. I'm like, so okay.
So
cool.
yeah, that's cool. And it's like, man, it feels like gone are the days for the dudes out there that you can like meet a chick somewhere and like ask for a phone number, like just know somebody and be like, hey, let's go get something.
Yeah, because you don't want a fucking sexual harassment suit.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I made a joke yesterday. We were hanging out with this girl that we had just met.
Yeah.
She's cool and everything, but I made a joke about my friend and I was like, oh, he just wants to be me. And she was like, oh, let's clear the toxic masculinity out the room.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, dude, me and this dude joke about like sucking dicks and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like I was nothing toxic about my masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
Nick and I were kind of talking about that the other day off the air once we got done with Larry Sharp about how these girls that, they talk about the toxic masculinity and shit. They always end up marrying like the most toxic masculine dudes. Because at the end of the day,
you say toxic masculinity like it's even a thing though. Because I mean, chicks do the same shit.
They're worse.
Yeah. Chicks
but at the end of the day, when somebody kicks your door in at 3 a.m. or 3 o'clock in the morning, your vegan barista boyfriend's not going to do shit. You want the guy who's going to grab the Glock from the nightstand and go take care of business.
Baseball bat.
That's
or
what you want. Yeah.
I'm just like they throw around this term toxic masculinity, and it's like, what do you even mean by that? You're just trying to use that as a blanket term
like
to mean shit.
If you say, I feel like if a man says something aggressive, I think they just consider that toxic.
You consider that?
I don't even consider it masculine.
Say aggressive shit too.
Well, so they say so like. They consider toxic masculinity like, groping and shit like that or a sexual assault. But I'm like, that's not masculinity because we've all got women in our lives. And if somebody were to do shit, if somebody were to rape them, I can at least speak for myself, and I'd probably be in jail for murdering that guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, oh, dope, bro.
I'm like, oh, high five,
so
man.
Manly of
they,
you,
bro. Like when I hear people try to talk about quote unquote toxic masculinity, the only thing that like I'll give them to is like what they say they don't like catcalling. I'm like, okay, cool. So let's say, do you have a problem with people acting like guys, or do you have a problem with catcalling?
How often does catcalling happen?
Yeah, it happens in big cities, like
in big
construction workers.
Yeah.
The construction sites in New York is the only place that catcalling really happens.
You know, it's funny is you'll say that, and then all these fucking chicks will be like, "No, one time I got catcalled in the fucking hotel."
And really, what happened is this guy just came up and asked if he could buy her a drink.
I don't know. I don't know the specific situation, but even then, it's like, okay, so then your problem is just being catcalled, and like, yeah, catcalling's annoying. All the dudes out there like that actually know how to talk to women.
They don't do that.
They know that catcalling is fucking lame as shit.
It doesn't work.
Yeah,
it's never worked.
Catcalling's lame, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Oh, he called me a bitch. I'm gonna go fuck him. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
damn girl, why don't you back that ass up over here?
Working out, dude. Like, I hate like if a girl comes over. Like, I like to work out at my house. It's
Right.
like I can't even work out because like one of my friends is like, oh, you're such a douche, or you're trying to impress her, or she'll think I'm trying to impress her. I'm like, bitch, like, no, I just like care about my physical health.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry about that. Or like if it's hot outside,
Yeah.
and like, cause you know, like in my prime, I was probably like 6% body fat, so I was looking all right. Okay.
Right.
So it'd be hot as fuck outside. I'll take my shirt off. They're like,
Lean
oh,
bulk.
you fucking douchebag, you're flexing or something. I'm like, it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like, I'm sorry that I'm like existing. Like, it's like, you know, if I don't know, dude.
I don't. Yeah, like I've when I try to ask people, and honestly, there aren't a whole lot of people I've met in real life that have tried to say something about toxic masculinity.
No, I've never met
I always
someone
say, like,
in person.
what do you mean specifically, man?
We should find like a feminist and get her on here and ask her
they
what it
don't
means.
come on and talk about.
No,
this
they
kind of
won't
stuff.
because we won't have a circle jerk with them.
Yeah.
That's why.
So they'll try to say that, and then they'll say catcalling specifically. I'm like, well, I agree with you. Yeah, catcalling's fucking lame.
Yeah.
You're
So is
right.
groping.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
is
You're not
assault.
wrong.
That's not those aren't masculine traits.
Yeah.
Right. It's not. It's
Women,
not at all.
Because
women
chicks
grope the shit out of people.
Yeah,
Women
dude.
actually low-key are high-key sexual predators. I've been
They
on
are.
Club. I've had my junk grabbed by women. Women
Mhm.
smack my ass, but like it happens. The thing
They
is,
are.
like, I can just physically do something about it. You know, and I'm sure like men probably do it more often because like
I think men are just
involved.
more likely. Men are, I think, more likely to say something about it. They're more likely to go, like, get your
Men,
fucking hand off
Like
me.
I said,
Yeah.
like we're
Well, I don't know because I've been groped by women and I haven't said anything and it's left me very uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
that's just
But
me.
men are just like more like I don't know, like sexually active, but like instinctively just more sexual than women, like more willing to seek it out just because of when a woman gets pregnant, she has to carry a baby for 9 months.
Right.
And like it's just such more of a physical burden on the body than it is for a man. So just naturally, like men are just want to seek out more partners than women. That's why women are more selective.
Well, women are just used to being chased too. Like
Oh,
since the dawn of
yeah,
time,
women
they're the
are
ones
more
that
selective.
they don't chase us. We chase
I don't
them.
even
That's
think
how it
women are
goes.
that selective anymore, man.
No,
Like,
that's how it goes. Yeah.
What the fuck is my problem?
Yeah.
You're not on Tinder. That's your problem.
Yeah, I am not on Tinder. Actually,
That's your problem.
God, I need to fucking do something.
Actually, I deleted it.
Fuck me,
I
damn it.
don't have those apps on my phone anymore.
Because he's taken. You can't, man.
Kinda, yeah. So
Yeah.
That's the thing. The talking face, I don't get that because it's like, okay.
I mean, I'm at the point right now. I wouldn't fuck anybody
If
else.
you're- if
Like,
you're
I
mutually
don't talk to
exclusive-
anybody else. I wouldn't.
if you're
So
mutually exclusive and you're like not gonna talk to anyone else, not gonna fuck anyone else, you
Right.
might as well just be dating.
right. I mean, yeah, that's
Like, so are you dating?
Sure,
he's
yeah.
he's like, fuck.
I was with her before we
you
came
gotta
here.
leave him have that discussion with her.
I was
man.
with her before. By the time, so this one's gonna be backdated. So like by the time it releases, the answer will be yes. So
Probably. Most likely.
My
Most
bad,
likely,
man.
yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's just that mad dash to get into that long-term phase.
My biggest thing is just labels in general. Like that's why I said that. Not to
Yeah,
put
no,
like
you're
that.
good.
This labels like when like people will have. Okay, how do I say this? How do I say this? If I were to ask you if I could slap you and the outcome were you to die, or if I were to ask if I could shoot you and the outcome were you to die, would it really matter which one you picked?
Right.
Right. So you might be like, how the fuck does this make sense? So whether if you say you're just talking or dating, if you're both just mutually exclusive,
Yeah, it's the
and
same
how fucking-
thing.
It's the same thing.
Well,
I
I
think-
heard
I
a
think
song that
it's
says "Love's not a label" on Facebook. You know, it's like that. It's like you put it on Facebook. Who fucking cares? You know.
Yeah.
But
I think people just sometimes get uncomfortable with, like, if you're like those kind of people that have like commitment issues or something, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm dating somebody. Oh my god, oh good jeez.
That's why I
yeah,
just
There's
think
people
it's-
like
not my
that.
I
problem.
just think it's so funny how people just like judge people. You know, like especially people who smoke cigarettes. Like I feel like if you smoke cigarettes, you cannot call anybody, no matter what they do, a dumbass because you've been told your entire life it gives you cancer, it will
Right.
kill you, And
at our age,
at
older
our age,
people,
our
you
age,
know,
at our
got
age.
hooked on it. But yeah,
At
people
our
our
age,
age,
and you actively choose to do it. Like I know a dude who judges everybody he fucking sees, but smokes like a pack of fucking day.
Yeah, I'm gonna pump tar into my
We
fucking
call those
lungs.
people unwise.
And like they might do something you know, like fuck up like, you know, something small, but like you're literally damaging your lungs, like the way you breathe, and you're calling them a dumbass because they wore a shirt that you didn't like.
Right.
It's funny when people are like that, man. Because if they
Like,
want to
what?
try to come at you with some stuff, you're like, bro, you smoke. Like
Or
whatever you're about to say,
or the
whatever
people
you're about
that-
to say, dude, might as well just be farts coming out.
or the guy that like
Yeah.
has this just raging hatred for weed, but he's got like 3 DUIs. He gets trashed every weekend.
That's like my parents, because like they don't like that I smoke,
Yeah.
and I'm like, hey mom, those ramen noodles right there, no.
Yeah.
That pizza right there, no. That pop, even though I drink hell.
Yeah, it's like you better be Jesus himself before you be commenting on other
I'm like,
people what they do.
It's not like it's meth, you know? Like
And I've smoked meth, so she shouldn't even worry about that. I'm just kidding, mom. I'm just kidding. She's gonna be like, "Oh my god," I'm just kidding.
do you find that you write better when you're high?
Honestly, I've been thinking about taking a break from it,
Yeah.
from high, because like sometimes I'm just like high, and I'm just like, okay, like I feel it, but sometimes my thoughts get really clouded. You know, it's
That
like,
does
you know,
happen,
You know, but I'm like kind of addicted to it. Like, you know, like I've been saying I'm gonna take a break for a while. I haven't taken a break, but I mean, but I've always kind of had a tough time writing, just in general, because like I'm really critical of myself.
Right.
But I feel like if I could just think a little bit more clear, you know, so I might, you know, give it a break for a month and just see how that affects my art, because I haven't given it that chance yet to be able to compare it.
Have you ever tried any kind of form of meditation at all?
I have.
I think we talked about that last time he was on here.
I did for a little bit, but after I had started doing it, I had so my friend had moved in and I had moved back to my parents' house because I had lost my job at the gym because they replaced me. So I didn't have my own room, so I never had my own private space to be able to actually meditate without, you know, worry about someone coming in or interrupting.
Right.
And I actually recently did move in like 2 months ago.
Right.
I had my own room again. Thank fucking God, changed my life. But so I actually have been thinking about doing that because I've heard there's actually a lot of neurological.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, when you say meditate too, think it's like the Gandhi thing of like sitting on the pillow, like only doing that.
No, you can
No,
be
it's
sitting
not.
like this.
You know, yeah, my
Dude,
kind
I'll
of
10 minutes a day. I'll just chill with my eyes closed. It's
mine
meditation.
is like going
Yeah.
to the gym, man. Like
Yeah.
it's you just don't think about anything.
You can do it in your car too.
Yeah.
No music or anything like that.
I need to do that because I think too much, and I think that's what makes it hard to write sometimes, because I'll overthink about what I'm doing, how I'm saying it, or how I want it to say.
Do you ever write on edibles?
I haven't taken. Actually, I did take an edible like a couple days ago, but it didn't work too well.
No.
But I don't think I'll probably just go like, I don't know.
Yeah, just be the chair. You know?
Like my inspiration is just so like random. That's why I'm really trying to find a way to harness it. Like, but I can always tell when like a song's gonna be like good. Like I wrote Autumn and I got to the second line and I was like, this is gonna be good. Song.
Yeah.
Like I just know this is gonna be good. Song. I can just feel it. And the perception of me, like when I was writing the second verse, I actually wrote that second verse in like a couple minutes. It was just like I was writing it as I was finishing like recording the chorus for it. And I was like, hey, my nigga calling dog, I mean this part. I just had it come in, I just wrote it real quick.
Yeah.
But then I'll sit down for a song that might sound the song that's not nearly as complicated or complex, you know, have like the rhyme scheme or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just will take me forever to write it.
I think the best stuff comes when you're not actually trying to write it, like the epiphany, you know.
Same with stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up's the same way. It's like I'll see some shit like that's funny as fuck. Why have I not talked about that yet?
Oh man, that happened to me the other night, man. We were me and my wife were just chilling there.
Yeah.
And like my cat sneezed.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, you know, I told my cat bless you because
There's
I'm
a whole
like
fucking
that.
joke out of that.
Yeah. I told my cat bless you, right? And then my wife
Observational
sneezes,
comedy.
and she fucking immediately goes like, "Oh, you tell the cat, bless you, but you don't tell me, huh?" And I fucking started cracking up, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "You like didn't even miss a beat, and you immediately started doing it." Like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Dude, I could turn that into a stand-up."
Fuck
Like,
yeah.
So how do you go about writing jokes? Is like, do you
It
like,
comes to
literally
me.
write them down? Or
I'll write them down.
I put them in my phone.
I'll put it if I think of something funny while I'm out, I'll pull up my notes and put it in my phone. But like otherwise, so like I've got an event coming up next Friday. It'll be done by the time we're here. I typed a lot of that out. I typed it out so I know how I want to cover it in what order, but I'll go off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have word for word
So it's like
typed
always
out.
You can't.
Yeah.
You gotta too. Like you can't.
You gotta
just
change it up, too,
because it's
'cause
gotta
you-
be a lot of like how the crowd.
You got to
is.
practice with it. Yeah, like So I think the thing with stand-up is if you haven't had like the more fucked up shit that's happened to you, the funnier you are, and that's typically, and I think that's any type of art. Like the most damaged people make the best art. So like,
I agree.
my school got shot up my freshman year. That's my first joke.
Oh, damn.
That's my first joke.
But honestly, it is though, like, cause I mean, like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna peep some shit to put myself in a bad mood, cause like I feel like when I'm feeling just a little bit more like negative for some reason, like that's when I'm just like, okay, like. I don't know, the pathway kind of just clears a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's not like a negative thing, but it's just like serious.
I think a lot of the stuff I like to write for stand-up jokes, because like I write stuff down to where, because I eventually want to start doing it, but I want to have a big arsenal of stuff to use. I think I try to do it where I take like a general idea or something that people know a lot about. You can relate to it instantly. Like I write a lot of jokes about like Latinas being fucking possessive. Everybody fucking knows about that, right? Even if you've never dated a possessive, or if you've never dated like a Latina chick, everybody knows about that. Yeah. Or, you know, in some form or something like that. And then I try to do specific things for that joke or for that idea that make people laugh about it.
What's really good is when you point some shit out that like is so obvious, but nobody notices it. And people are like, fuck, that's true. Like I saw this guy, I don't remember his name, who's opening for the Impractical Jokers at a stand-up thing. And he was talking about how when he's in the men, when they go to the bathroom, he's like, men, we see something he's like, we see a little tiny piece of shit on the bowl of the toilet. Our dick turns into a goddamn water pick. Like it's so true. Yo, whole day, man. That's all we're aiming for.
I read that this one bar, like reduced the amount they had to clean their toilets in the men's bathroom by putting a little target in the urinal.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because people just pissed on the target, dude. They had a problem.
I'd be like, I'm getting this.
Yeah.
We would. It would be like
dudes are just fucking like that, man.
Yeah,
like,
it is. It's so true.
It's really important to be relatable in your art because that's my biggest problem. Like I can tell, and that's why I'm glad I'm really starting to release more music so I can analyze how people respond to it.
Right.
Which is really cool because I just love to see how people think. And like my first the songs I released this month were like Autumn and The Perception of Me are very relatable and digestible and easy to understand. And like I made that when I wrote The Perception of Me, the first verse, I was actually like, I'm not even gonna rhyme in this. I'm just gonna like talk and like try to speak, you know, in a way that people can relate to. But I failed at that, but it's not too complex.
Right.
But in the one I just dropped, it's actually like much more dense, especially the last verse.
Which one's this one called?
The Hello Morning is like emancipated me, see 8 minutes, remorseful, morsel, forcefully, thwarting morsels, trying to recreate the finish. And then even in that line, I feel like I had to explain it. So I even say heaven on earth, try to recreate the finish, like explain that line. So like someone even told me, it's like, I feel like I need a PhD to listen to that song because, you know, the vocabulary is big. So it hasn't had as much of an impact. Like The Perception of Me had like 1,000 in the first week, which I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I'm a nobody. But I was right when I was like, okay, this one's not going to be as popular as the last two because it is just not as easy to tell what I'm talking about from the first listen. Like you probably have to go through and actually read the lyrics. And it's not necessarily a story as much as it is a concept. Yeah. And people can't necessarily relate to it as much.
I think that's why a lot of people will like some of those real like deep rappers, someone like
let's think.
I'm gonna draw a
Pharaoh
blank.
Monch.
Okay.
Very deep.
I'm so bad with names, man. I forget names. Like I'll remember concepts and everything.
Shit there. Yeah.
No one knows who he is.
But I mean, like they'll explain very complicated subjects or ideas, but they do it very simply to like where you can understand it. Or really start to think about it. Yeah, J. Cole.
J. Cole. Very good at that. Yep. He's very good. That's why I love J. Cole, and that's what
I love J. Cole
I listen
too,
to
man.
him to humble myself because like I like to use my vocabulary, and like I have to remember like it's okay to say things simply and not basic. I think there's a difference between being basic and being simple.
Right.
And The Perception of Me, just the idea of the song was important to me because like I perceive myself bad when I rap simply, you know, and it was a big for me to put it out, and I'm glad people responded to it well because it's like I don't have to say emancipated me, see 8 minutes.
Yeah. I'll ask you this, Dion. If somebody's never listened to J. Cole before, doesn't know what he's about at all, what would you think would be, if you'd be like, listen to this album front to back, which one of his would you say?
It's got to be Forest Drive, right?
Yeah, I would say Forest Drive, man. I think that's the best entry level into J. Cole.
I haven't caught up with
I would agree. I would say I would agree. I would say my favorite's probably Born Sinner, but I would say 2014 Forest Hills probably is the best because it is definitely a solid narrative throughout his life.
It's a really deep album.
Yeah, it's really good, and he's really good at making things.
Did that have the "Got Me Up All Night"? That one?
No, that was on Born Center.
Okay,
that one was on Born Center. That
2014 or
nigga, why you acting like a hoe? Know the number right for it. Either way, something like that.
Okay.
Or,
it's got
Tale of Two Cities. It has that on there. That song is super dope.
It's got This One Goes My LA.
Yeah.
That's a real big one for that one.
That song, like, he's amazing. Another dude I love. But at the same time, he's simple but still elusive.
Yeah.
Isaiah Rashad, like, he'll say things like his word choice is dope. It's not like it's complex word choice. It's just like, dude, why'd you say that? Like, you could have said this. Like, why'd you say that? He's actually my favorite artist. If I could pick, there's any album I want to drop, like.
Yeah, give me an entry album
by Isaiah Rashad. Oh my
God.
The Sylvia demo.
Soviet demo.
Sylvia or Soviet?
Sylvia.
Sylvia. Okay.
Silvia. The Sylvia demo.
Okay.
He is amazing. Like,
he'll
like, this one isn't like super like, dope, but he just did a freestyle, and like he could have said like, oh, I just bought a chain or something, but he said this, that expensive and tuck. What's the brand? I don't know. Like, he said so much right there in such like a really simple way, and I'm just like, damn. Like, I hear that, and I'm just like, fuck. And like,
it can be tough to hear somebody better than you, because like there's times I'll write jokes that I think are fucking hilarious, and then I sit down and watch Dave Chappelle, and I'm like, God, I'm like dead puppies.
It sucks,
right?
Because like that song I just referenced, like, I saw an interview and he was like, dude, I hate that song. I didn't even want him to drop it. It was just a freestyle.
There's a lot of people
I love
like that.
This song. I'm like, this song is fire as shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it was just a freestyle. I'm like, what? This is better than any song I've ever made in my entire life.
I have it when I'm bouncing off jokes around people. Like, I keep the ones that generally get good responses, and it's good and bad. Like with my wife, because my wife fucking like a lot of the shit I tell her, she doesn't laugh at it. But if I can get
those are the best people, because they're brutally honest. Because if you can make them laugh, other people will think it's fucking hilarious.
If I can make my wife laugh at like a bit, I know it's a keeper. But some things though, like I'll use as a bit, I'll bounce it off her. She doesn't really laugh, but then I go bounce it off of other people, and I'm like, all right, cool. I know it's just.
Because I had one, I had to cut. A comic friend advised me to cut it. I was already having second thoughts about it, because you do cut shit, right? And he was like, this has already crossed my mind, so as I can tell I was maturing. So I had a joke. Obviously, this isn't what I believe, right? Like, this is completely stand-up is stand-up. I was going to start it off with, hey, I know there's a lot of negativity in comedy. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'll never dehumanize someone for who they are as a person. And then I'd pause and go, so thank God transgenders aren't people. So between us, we're all twisted individuals. We'll laugh at that. I tell that joke, it doesn't land with the right audience. Nothing I say is funny. Nothing I say the rest of the night is funny, and it's over. Obviously, I don't believe that. I think you should do whatever the fuck you want to do. But it's funny. But like marginalizing groups of people, it's, I don't know.
Comedy's like a dance, man. You can't just go into it doing the same thing every time.
You gotta fuck up one. But and my comic friend, he told me afterwards, he's like, that was smart of you to cut that out, because if you would have put that joke in, like,
how do you know which people were?
Not just that, but like,
it's one of those things where you got to feel.
If it lands, it lands, but the risk isn't. No, not in LA. You couldn't tell that. In Omaha, you got a little bit more leeway. The risk versus the reward. If it lands, it's just another joke that lands. If it doesn't land, that's the kind of joke people are like, "Fuck this motherfucker." And then they're looking up where you work, and they're trying to ruin your life.
It's funny you say that about LA, man, because I see a lot of some of these comics coming up out of LA and everything like that. And I'm like, man, you are like not funny, dude.
New York comics are the best.
Yeah,
they can say whatever the
East
fuck they want.
East Coast comedians are definitely better than the guys that move out to West Coast to try to do it. Because I mean, you can't be funny without at least stepping on somebody's toes. You know what I mean? Like, like somebody specifically. It can be how small of a group that you are making a joke about or something like that, but somebody's gonna get a little butthurt about it.
Absolutely.
So
that's how I feel about some of these rappers. I'm like, damn. Not very good.
And
like, I mean, at the same time though, I guess like I always appreciate everyone's art, and I try not to be the dude who's like, oh, don't make the music that you don't want to make. But like,
sometimes you just got to work on yourself.
Oh no, I had a weird conversation with my coworkers, because he was talking about how like rappers don't talk about shit, right? Which I was like, okay, I can agree with. Like, obviously, like I've heard plenty of rappers who don't talk about
Sheck West.
Yeah, like what the fuck is
and
that?
not only that, but he named it after like a below average NBA player.
I was like, who is this dude?
Mo Bamba. Like, he's like the backup center for the Magic.
This dude was talking.
I think that's just some of that music that you can just know isn't going to be very thought provoking, man. Because I mean, you could say the same shit about like 80s.
Well, it's thought provoking if the other type of thought.
Yeah.
When they go out to the club.
You could say the same shit about. You could say the same shit about like 80s hair metal. Man. Ain't nobody thinking about anything deep.
It's just a different era of club music. That's all it is.
Yeah. Ain't
Like
nobody
disco.
thinking about something deep listening to fucking Def Leppard,
this
dude.
time and place. Like, you're not trying to be in the club thinking about like being cerebral in the fucking club.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, bands like Guns N' Roses did have some thought-provoking songs back in the 80s.
Oh no, I've
like
heard some bangers in old school hip hop that are like damn, like these motherfuckers rapping pretty good.
Right.
Like, you know, but like I guess the biggest thing for it is like what they're talking about. Like Biggie was talking about girls and jewelry and stuff too. People criticize him, but he was just doing it in a better way with a better flow.
Right. I don't know, Biggie some deep shit in some of his music.
Oh no, he definitely does. He definitely does. That's why I'm just saying like people like to pick and choose a little bit. But like I used to be a fucking hater. I used to hate on everybody. Like if you were Eminem, fuck you. Like that's basically how I was, and that's probably why I suffer now in certain areas.
And then MGK ended his career.
Honestly, I will say MGK's diss was more relevant than
I thought it was better. I thought it was more.
He did say more things where I was like, okay,
like when he brought out Kim.
When he was like, stop wearing the tracksuit and the hat. I was like, okay, like you in his interview, I saw his interview about it, and I was like, he had some really good points. He was like, he got mad about what he said about
it was a tweet from like 7 years ago.
It was
so fucking.
And he was like the big rap, he said the
big bad bully of the rap game.
Can't take a joke. And he's talking about Christopher Reeves and Parkinson's. And I was like, all right, bro, like I don't hate this guy. At first I was like, fuck MGK, but I was like, no, he really made it.
I think about that. It's like, dude, nobody's above criticism. Dude.
No,
you can't put anybody up on such a high pedestal.
Especially
you can't bring him down.
Because I mean, I'll never disrespect him just for what he's personally done for me. Right. As a person, just through his music.
Right.
But like his music right now is not fire. I would
terrible.
Rather listen to an MGK album.
Same.
I'm not biased about it, man, because I'm not a big Eminem fan. All his stuff before he became a big meth head is like I don't like Eminem stuff post meth.
No, whenever the artists quit doing drugs, they get worse.
Oh yeah,
it's true.
He used to be. Oh my god. Like,
and that's any genre.
When I throw on like 97 Eminem, like it's like complete nostalgia. I listen to like, his newest stuff, and it's like I can rap better than that, you know.
And then. Well, I mean, Eminem's at the end of his career, and MGK is entering his prime, so it's like,
Eminem doesn't have like anything really to talk about.
No,
like what is there to be inspired about? I've noticed when I sit in my room, which I do a
lot. What I've noticed, I think the best rappers when they're done saying what they have to say, the best ones go and they become like producers.
Yeah,
I just started making beats actually.
Yeah,
I just started making beats.
Or just bringing up other people up. Like look at like somebody like Dre. Mm-hmm. Man, Dre didn't have much to say, but what did he do? He got done saying what he had to say, and then he brought up some other people. Like, look at him.
And making beats is like, I'm really new to it, but it's actually like really good at helping you as a writer as well. It's like just because you feel like your song so much more. Like I'll just put down a melody and some drums. I'm like, okay.
It's like reverse engineering a song or something almost.
It feels so like spectacular. I just started writing to one beat that I made. It's not the most inspiring thing ever. It's talking about some ass and some titties, maybe. But fuck, I love it. It's so fun. Like, it's like I made this beat. I'm like the whole time I'm thinking like, holy shit, I made this. Like this is fun. Like people might actually like this, which doesn't happen. I usually don't feel like that. So be on the lookout for that one. I don't want to call it yet. But like it's just the process of it is just insane, even though I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
I think the best artists out there are able to make thought-provoking stuff and then also make
some club bangers.
The bangers. Yeah. And they're able to throw it on the same album and it transitions well.
Yeah, like Kendrick's super dope at that. So J. Cole. Yeah. And I want to be like that too. Like I know some rappers who are super cerebral.
Kevin Gates does that too,
dope.
Even.
Like they'll have like really like dope bars. But
I think Wiz Khalifa can be like that too. Wiz Khalifa can say some really deep stuff, and then you just start talking about smoking weed and having fun.
A lot of the bigger artists that are criticized actually have a lot to say, but like people just don't give them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Rogan. I was impressed with him. Yeah. Just like a couple weeks ago.
He started doing like MMA stuff. He's like
he's fucking jacked.
He's like beefy.
He's actually I've seen like him like hitting the pads and stuff, like he's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I've seen like Drake and like T.I. hitting the pads. I'm like, dude,
Well, that's what, because Joe's an expert on it, and he was telling him, he's like, you're not as fast as like a professional fighter, but you've got all the correct moves and forms down.
His form is good, and he's a big dude, so he's like a tall dude.
Is he?
So, he's like 6'3".
That was the thing when I met MGK. Like, dude's like 6'4". I'm used to being way taller than musicians.
So he'll beat the shit out of someone. It's like little whips, dude.
Yeah.
Out, dude. So he'll beat the fuck out of somebody.
Yeah.
Like 5 years ago, I stepped in Wiz Khalifa. Now I'm not stepping to Wiz, bro. I'm not stepping to him. When he looked like the fucking Cinnamon Man from the commercials, I would step to him. But now it's not happening, dude.
That's funny, dude.
Now
I
it's
bet
not
if he
happening.
heard that too, he'd probably crack up.
Oh,
I hope
He
so.
seemed like he's got a good sense of
I fuck
humor.
with you, Wiz. I fuck with
Cinnamon
him. I remember
Man.
watching him like freestyle in the studio, like before he was like even famous. I used to like go on YouTube and look like just like freestyles, and I was one of his videos, and like 4 years later he was famous.
Really?
That's pretty crazy.
Huh.
Like I watched the video, I saw him like, oh, I didn't know that was Wiz Khalifa. Oh shit, my bad. Sorry, people.
Do you ever do the battle rapping thing or no?
No, I mean like with the homies, like
There's
I'll
like a
freestyle
league
battle
here
rap
in
them.
Omaha.
I don't know if I'm ready. I'm not good at pressure. Okay, here's the thing.
I don't think it's freestyle though. They write it out.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I did see a compliment battle that someone had, and some dude actually
A compliment
it was
battle.
A compliment battle.
That's kind of
and
cool.
It was so
Positivity.
fucking funny.
That's cool.
It was so funny. I just honestly, I think my style of writing, because like sometimes I try to write like too many syllables in one spot and yada yada. But I think my style of writing is actually really good for spoken word. And I've actually been trying to write like just like more poetry, like things that aren't like in song format, just more literature in general. And I do have some like spoken word things, so maybe I could be good at that because I've been watching some battles.
Poetry writing is like some shit, man. I don't know if you've ever done it at all.
There's a method to it. I had to do it in high school.
Well, I used to write haikus when I was deployed, like on my phone.
Really?
Just I'd have it on my phone on me, and because I didn't have anything to really think about.
It's just fun. Like,
yeah,
you know the whole blue curtains cliche, or the like, what do the blue curtains mean in the author's story? You know, people are like, what the fuck? It's just curtains. They don't mean anything.
Yeah.
I'm really a blue curtains type of thinker.
Yeah.
Like I find meaning in the most insignificant thing, and then I amplify it, and then you just make it into a line, and you just can compare things that people typically don't compare. I just find that like fun to do, and I think it's helped me in life. Just like put points together, like through like morality and just like logic. I'm like, okay, I put these and some dots people don't connect, and I don't know if like
I'm really analytical like that too, and it drives my wife crazy. Dude.
Really?
It drives Anna nuts.
You got to be like that in this world.
She'll be like, "Oh, so you think you some kind of like fucking philosopher or something over
Plato
there?" And I'm
over
like,
here.
"No,
Jesus.
I'm just
Honestly,
an analytical."
Though, like I've thought about that. I think I mentioned that in the last podcast. Like I think in a way I have a philosophical mind, not like Descartes when I'm coming up with fucking grids and like Cartesian systems, whatever the fuck that shit is.
Yeah.
But like just being the willingness to be fallible, to be wrong, like I might not know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like this shit might not make sense. A lot of people just can't do that.
I think it was Aristotle. It was one of the Greek philosophers. I can't remember if it's Aristotle or Socrates that's famously said that like, man, I how like I know I'm smart is because I know I don't know shit. Like I don't know anything.
That's how I know I'm a good rapper, because I'm a terrible rapper. and I only want to improve. Like if you are ever satisfied where you are at, then just you might as well stop doing it, because you are not going to get better.
Yep.
And
That's true.
And I'm always just like, okay, that song was cool. This next song has to be a lot better.
That's when people lose their ambition, is when they get comfortable.
Getting stagnant.
That's
I never want to be comfortable.
That's what happened to him. You can see it in his art. Like you listen to Kim, like you can tell like when he was recording that dude was hurting.
Yeah, you can. I mean, who writes a fucking 9-minute song about murdering their wife?
Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
And her husband and
dude went fucking OJ in the song. Have you seen his Twitter account?
No.
OJ? Yes. I don't think he knows what Twitter's for. He should have an Instagram, because it's videos of him, and he's like, "What's up, Twitter world?" That's how every one of them starts. Yeah, and it's like you can tell where he lives.
I saw an OJ account. I thought it was real. It was like, yeah, I killed my wife. I did it. Ha ha. I was like, oh my god.
That's funny.
They charge him again. It's double jeopardy.
He
should just come out and admit it. Like, did you see the video? It was before he went to jail, but it was after the trial. And he was on this like talk show, this like local news show or something like that. They're letting people call in. It's live. This guy calls in. He goes, "OJ, what feat are you most proud of that you've accomplished?" And he goes, "Rushing for 2,000 yards in one season, or slitting 2 throats in one night." They hung up the phone on him.
Yeah, we've been going for like an hour.
Oh shit, we gotta
over
cut it
here.
off.
Yeah,
I gotta go play a basketball game. Fuck.
Oh shit. Well, hope you ball out, my guy. I'm gonna go make some music.
All right.
Cool.
Well, hope you ball out that too.
So I really hope I do too. Like,
Well, we're in the playoffs now. So do you want anything you want to plug?
Check out 123 by Citus on all platforms. Check out The Perception of Me, Autumn by Dion Cobbs. Check out Chasing Ghosts by Forrest. They're just really great songs. You know, my group is really talented. We really love what we do. We love you guys, and we hope that we can make it and give back to the city of Omaha. And you know, we all have really great hearts, and we just want to give back to everybody. So just give us a chance. Appreciate it.
Fuck yeah. All right, let's close it. Thanks, man. Have a
Yeah.
good-
Hey, thanks for tuning in,
Fucking do it.
guys.
Yeah. Peace out.
Doses.